Good afternoon, everyone. I want to provide an update on a video that I made some time ago about trouble brewing in the new and used car markets. So on the screen you see a company named Carvana, which during the 2020 and 2021 calendar years went into a lot of speculation. What they did, they buyed pretty much any used cars that were in decent conditions for above market prices. Pretty much there's been reports that they would just show up and give you top dollar and just load your car on the flatbed, and that's what they did, and they expected that prices would continue to skyrocket in the car market, and that eventually they would get their money back with additional revenue, essentially profit. What ended up happening though is, especially in 2022, as you can see in this graph, interest rates started to spike due to the Federal Reserve's quantitative tightening policy. So consumers didn't qualify or decided not to apply for car loans, which if you watched my previous video, you kind of saw that dynamic, especially how people started to finance cars using 72-month loans instead of the 60-month loans. So essentially, guys, there's been reports that Carvana is going to go bankrupt. They essentially are liquidating, and there's been screenshots online which are very believable, where you'll see that Carvana is listing their cars on various auctions. So essentially they're trying to sell and get some kind of money back, because they'll be filing their bankruptcy and they need to essentially liquidate. So this is very bad news, I would say, for the used car market, because there's been so much quantitative tightening going on, and at the same time there's going to be this influx of used cars coming onto the market. Essentially how this is going to happen is that used car dealers are going to start buying these cars, and if you've been to a used car dealer recently, you'll probably see that there's a lot of cars there. They'll start bidding on these cars, and they'll have, I don't see like how they can add more cars, because I think used car dealers already have a high inventory. But they'll be buying these used cars into this environment where the Federal Reserve is trying to hike interest rates. Well, they are hiking interest rates, but they're trying to cool down the jobs market. So people are going to be losing jobs. They're not going to be able to, or should I say, they're going to be downgrading back to jobs that they probably would have held had the pandemic and the quantitative easing never happened. So they're going to be going back to lower paying jobs, and they're not going to be able to afford these items like cars and whatnot. They're not going to be able to afford these car loans with 5% and higher interest rates. So I think this speculation, kind of similar to how Zillow was buying a lot of houses, and now their stock is also tanking quite a bit. So I mean, this is going to be making news soon. I mean, Carvana tanked 98%, over 98% this year, guys. They started out at $250 a share, and now they're at $4 a share. So yeah, like I said, they're liquidating. I think this is going to have impacts on the used and new car markets, because there's going to be way more inventory that has been kind of sapped from the inventory pool due to all of this over speculation and whatnot. And I think this might ripple into other sectors of the economy, such as the housing market and other financial instruments. Thanks for tuning in.